Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the About Wellbeing podcast, episode 47. So, I'm going to kickstart you guys with a Friedrich Nietzsche quote. You are not yet free. You are still searching for freedom. Searching for freedom is fatiguing. You want the open heights. Your soul longs for the stars. But your bad instincts and your bitter past experiences also long for freedom. Those experiences are fueled when your spirit tries to overcome them. You try to overcome these experiences, but you can only imagine freedom. The free man must always try to cleanse himself, as they can become someone who tries to overcome these experiences, becoming clever, but also deceitful. If you are a free man and you feel free, others who dislike you and judge you still know you are free. The good people find the free in obstruction. They will call the free man a good person in order to make away with them. The free man wants to create new things and new virtues. The good people want the old things and old ways for them to be preserved. The free man could become good man, which is... that is a crazy quote. So basically, what they're saying there is the good man is known as, by Friedrich Nietzsche, as the herd. And the herd of the people is just like the standard collective of the virtues of like majority of the people who are probably like, as what we would consider, consumed by the news and things like that. People who listen to whatever the news is saying, what everyone else is saying, and they're not very good at being unique and making their own decisions, and they just go with what everyone else says. Oh, I saw that on Facebook, or I saw that on the news. They're all people. To be free, you're making your own decisions. So I'm just going to really quickly go over this again, just so that it sinks in for you, because obviously my reading voice may not be that exciting. So just one more time before I get into this awesome podcast, stay in and listen, because this one is a really good, quick and handy one that could be super, super beneficial for you. You are not yet free. You are still searching for freedom. Searching for freedom is fatiguing. You want to open the heights. Your soul longs for the stars, but your bad instincts and your bitter past experiences also long for freedom. They also long for freedom. So no matter who you are, it's always longing for freedom. Those experiences are fueled when your spirit tries to overcome them. You try to overcome these experiences, but you can only imagine freedom. The free man must always try to cleanse himself, as they can become someone who tries to overcome these experiences, becoming clever, but also deceitful when you're trying too much, when you're trying to cleanse yourself. If you are a free man and you feel free, others who dislike you and judge you also still know you are free. I fucking love that one quote there. If you're a free man and you feel free internally, others who dislike you and judge you still know you're free though. The good people, in quotations, the good people find the free and obstruction. So people look at you and find the free and will look down on you for being free, for having your freedom, for making your own choices. They'll go, oh, Jesus, look at you, or judge you for it. They will call the free man a good person in order to make away with them. Because internally, if they're looking at you and they're reflecting, a lot of the time people may want that. They may want that freedom. They may look at that and they'll just turn a blind eye to you just so you can get on and do your own stuff, which is probably a good thing if you're free anyway. The free man wants to create new things and new virtues. They value being their best selves. The good people want old things and old ways for them to be preserved. So that's how you know the difference between the free and the not free. The free man wants to create new things, get new virtues. You know how important that is and strong and powerful that is? Create new things and create new virtues. What's another virtue I can have? What's another value I can embody? What's a new thing that I can do? The good people, in quotations, want the old things, resistant to change. Oh, let's keep the things they were. Let's keep the ways how they used to be. Let's preserve these different things. That's not a growth mindset. It's a fixed mindset. So the free man can also become a good man if influenced by the good man, in quotations. So always be free. Be your unique self is basically what that is saying. A good old Friedrich Nietzsche. Freedom of the inner hero is what that is called. That path. So let's get into the podcast. Quick meals and food hacks podcast. Jared, this is for you, baby. Getting into some of this good stuff. So This is going to be a short and a fucking awesome one. I'm really excited for this podcast because it's so useful. Please, if you're listening, listen to the end and please implement this stuff immediately. Even if you have to text someone and just say, quickly go get this, quickly do this, call someone, hold yourself accountable, because I know you're listening to this and you're probably going to think to yourself, oh, I'd love to do that. That's a really good idea. I'll try this new thing. I'll have this new recipe, whatever it is, and then you won't go out and do it. So in regards to this, I'm giving you just some quick meals and some food hacks. I have a recipe ebook you can get very cheap online that has all of these really good healthy recipes. Where do these recipes come from? Man, I went out and did all the crazy research to figure out all the best ingredients. How can I put them together into their best recipes, which are going to be amazing for you. Each recipe is taken in consideration muscle growth. Each recipe is taken in consideration brain health. Each recipe is taken into consideration detoxifying your body and filling it full of the best, healthiest, well-kept nutrients that are the best for you, using and mentioning like the best ingredients ever, like really healthy ingredients, and putting them together. So check that out. Also at the moment, just putting out there, I'm doing some one-on-one coaching, some group coaching, some day planning. If you want to figure out all of this stuff or you'd like to work with me, send me an email, send me a DM. Maybe we can sort something out. Yes. So without further ado, let's get into it. Listen to the end. Take action on all of these things. Like, I'm literally helping my clients with this stuff. So this is some good advice for you. Now, quick meals and food hacks podcast. What I've got written, because I've got some notes, and I'll put this up as an article on my website, and you will be able to see that. So by the time this comes out, you can go to CoreyBoutwell.com and you'll be able to see everything written down. So what I've got written here is the whole key to this article. The number one piece of advice for this article. The only thing that you need to do. What is going to help you most while I'm talking to you about this is to get the right tools and keep your jars and fridge stocked. That is the key. I've been working with a couple of clients recently, and a lot of the time, like, I just have one shout out to Benji. Talking to him, he's like, man, I've been feeling like a god this week, right? He has got all of, if you look at my hierarchy, the About Wellbeing hierarchy, the very bottom one is physiological health needs. And my argument and my theory for all the stuff I do as coaching is get yourself physiologically as ultimate as possible, and being able to deal with stress, have really good relationships, make good financial killings, find out your career and purpose and happiness, and then also make impact on the world comes a lot quicker and a lot more easily if your body and mind are sorted out. Now, Benji is someone who's extremely elite, and he has all of these other things sorted out, and the thing that he's struggling with the most at the moment is food. We did our check-ins this week, and he got on the phone, and like, I hardly even got to say anything to him. Hey, he was just like, boy, I've been prepping and I've been eating this week. I was like, yes. He's like, I've been feeling so good, man. I was like, oh, that makes me so happy. So he's been really consistent. And used all the food, been eating all the stuff, hasn't missed a meal, and he's been feeling fantastic. You just can't put a price on how good you feel, and you always like never really notice how good you feel when you're eating consistently and you're eating all the good food and you're prepping and you're getting it done, right? But what I recognize is, shout out to Benji, what a legend, he killed that. And yes, so one of the things that is extremely important to note is that obviously in 2020 plus, majority of us live this high, fast-paced, crazy life, and it's very hard to focus on these little things. If you map out what your best self looks like, a lot of the time is if you say from 5 months now, what is all the things my best self is doing? It's eating healthy food. It's getting a good sleep. If you listen to the podcast I did with Lee Ryan at the very end of that, I said, Lee, what makes the best Lee? What are the things that when Lee is at his best embodies? And he was like, this is quite cliche. Getting a good sleep, eating healthy food, making sure that I'm moving all the time. But what happens is if you look at your best self and you, if you listen to my best self podcast too, there's only a couple before this one, we got dive into this big time. But if you look at your best self and then you look at all the little things you have to do, you realize that it's exponentially fucking hard, really hard. And the free man, Friedrich Nietzsche, as I've just written out here, chooses to do all these little things. And the good people in the quotation marks will look at that and put that off. Oh, don't change that. I don't want to change my sleep. I don't want to have to eat vegetables. I don't want to have to do this. Blah, 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 blah. Push that away. Keep being you heard, people. We want to be unique. We want to be choosing to do all of this really good stuff because we've done the research and we understand why. That's what makes us free, right? We have the ability to do all of these things. Now, it's learning all of these different things just to do some very small, simple, basic stuff. But we need to learn this, I think, in 2020 on such a deep level, because when we do know it on a deep level and understand it, we're actually more likely to go out there and do it, which is obviously the hard part. So when it comes to eating, I know I'm going a long way around to get to these little meal hacks, but like we just have to do them. We have to understand this stuff so that we actually go out and do it. Now, that one thing I said beforehand, the most important thing that you can learn and take away from this is get the right tools and keep your jars and fridge stocked. So with another one of my clients, what we understood was, he was just like, man, I can't get in this meal prep. Like, I love meal prepping. I love cooking. I like getting the ingredients. But like, I run a big company, so it's extremely hard for me to just get the time to get stuff done. And I got to pop down to Coles here and pop down to this place. And I was like, well, as an example, like, what do you have at your work at the moment? Like, do you have a kitchen? Yeah. Have you got a microwave? Yes. Have you got a fridge? Yes. Have you got a sink to clean all the stuff? Yes. Have you got an area for your jars and bowls and things like that? Yes. Can you get access to a blender and get one? Yes. Can you get an electric frying pan? Get one? Well, why don't you do that? So, yeah. So I think that's just really, extremely important to know. Now, what comes with this, a lot of time, if any of my male listeners are listening right now, is we overlook this stuff because we get caught up in our warrior energy archetype stuff. It is very easy for us to get addicted to, let's crush this. What's next? I got this hurdle to overcome. I need to get this done, get this sorted, get my meals in, crush a workout, get a good sleep, blah, blah, blah. Like, constantly got to crush business goals, finance goals. I got to get stuff done for the family. I got to run around and do this. So you're constantly in this crushing. Give me a door, I'll fucking bust it open, crush it. Very warrior energy, right? But what happens is that's when your warrior energy gets a little bit too negative, or too much positive warrior energy. It ends up being a little bit, I can't remember if it's sadistic or masochistic, one of those. But it's a little bit too much. It's sort of like if you've got two magnets and you put the positive ends together, they start going fucking crazy, right? You've got too much warrior energy, so the rest of the things are going to suffer. Now, what is the purpose of it? It's sort of like you're being too much of a soldier and you're disregarding the general in your brain, right? Your general is the leader, knows what's to do. And what happens is when you're too much of a warrior is you forget the protector or the protective role of the warrior, which is the most important, right? And what the warrior does in the protective thing is learns how to say no. It's the unique side of things. It's the free man in that quote that we mentioned beforehand with Friedrich Nietzsche. The one that's always trying to overcome stuff and, try to cleanse himself. And if you are a full man and you feel free, those who dislike you and judge you still know you're free. Like, you still know you're free because you're making all the right decisions and you're going through all those different things. Now, too much on the warrior side and you start to neglect that protector side of yourself, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be unique. It's going to be a lot harder for you to say no. The protector side of you was very good at saying no. And what basically you need to say, it's not even saying no, it's just being aware to be the protector. Now, what happens is if you're too much of a warrior, is you forget to protect yourself. That is huge, guys. Right, take that in. If you're too much of a warrior, you're too busy crushing it and all those different things. I haven't got time for that. Haven't got time for this. Too busy doing that. You don't have enough protector, or you haven't got your warrior energies balanced out enough so that you're protecting yourself. Now, what balances that out? And that's feminine energy. Warrior energy is very masculine. Feminine energy balances that out. How does it do that? You can tell if you're very warrior archetype, you're very masculine, a little bit of feminine energy going a long way because it supercharges you. And you notice that, like, if you're a guy, if you're a male perspective, if you see a really pretty girl, you feel energized, like pretty, not sexy or hot. I'm using the word pretty or something very feminine. Or you experience, just being around your girlfriend or something, like if you have a partner and she's just like singing and dancing and mucking around, whatever it is, just, being really feminine and creative, you're just sitting there smiling like, oh, this is so good. When you get home and if your partner is extremely happy just when you're home and you're like, this is the best shit ever, that a little bit of feminine energy goes a long way. That's a good example for that. So when it comes to just like, thinking about your diet and thinking about your routine, is like, okay, if I'm masculine, I'm warrior, I'm out there crushing, what's the little bit of feminine energy that I need to balance all of this out? Because I'm too much of a warrior and I'm finding it very hard to protect myself. I need something to protect. And if you do protect yourself, you start to realize, okay, I need a little bit of feminine energy here. What am I going to do? And that is, for the example of one of my clients, we've got the office, is deck it out. If you had that kitchen session when I talked about all those different tools beforehand, bowls, blender, microwave, jars, food containers, what is it really good for feminine energy is they decorate and they're creative. They feel things. Feminine energy is like if there's empty shelves and you're masculine, you see masculine houses. Everything's very empty, Japanese, minimalistic, like super minimalistic. But with the feminine stuff, everything's full. There's plants hanging off everything. You see a shelf, you need to stack that shelf full of something, put this here, make this look pretty, put this painting up there. Like that's very feminine. Now, when it comes to you and yourself, and your energy, like that's why the role of the feminine is so important, and especially for us masculine dudes, like we need it more than anything else, which is really important. And just noticing that is important. Now, when you just think about your food and your office get up, it's like, well, if I need to get this stuff in 2020, what can I do? Get all the right tools and decorate the areas. Take the time, get the jars, get the tools, get the bowls, get the blenders, get the good ones so that you're excited to use them. It's the same thing, like you use new workout gear and stuff to feel motivated. But what do you do for eating, like meal prep? It's not like you're going to get new meal prep gear to get motivated, right? A lot of the time it's buying new ingredients, right? And with the feminine energy, keep your ingredients stacked and keep them full. Keep your fridge full, keep your jars full, keep your food pantry stuff full. That is like the only task you need to do when it comes to being able to stick to all these quick and easy meal plans, right? That is the key. Keep it full, find the routine and figure that out. Get a girl, if you have a girlfriend, or get your partner to come in and help you. If it's like your own house or your office or wherever you work or your car or your whatever it is, get them to help you out and like make it look nice. Even if you're like a tradie or whatever and you're out like, on site and stuff all the time, get a really good esky bag with all of the different like goodies to like fill it up full of all the good food, you know what I mean? And use all those different things instead of just like, oh shit, get this plastic bag, chuck this thing in here and off you go. Like, this is a task that I was mentioning beforehand at the start of this. Do some of the things that I'm going to tell you to do, and that is definitely one of them. Take the time to do that. I mean, you take the time getting ready for the gym, exercising and crushing it, but like when it comes to eating, you got to put that same energy in. Now, I mentioned beforehand, the tools. The most helpful tool is jars and storing options. And then keeping them full, figuring out what to do to get those. Because what you use is I'll go through the list of ingredients in a second. The other helpful tools, bowls, a blender, a microwave, a frying pan, a chopping board and a knife. Like, they're the most essentials. Very easy. So these are the most recommended ingredients that I recommend to you to have on tap somewhere that you can just get, or have in a jar, or have somewhere. Like in my house, I could go out and show you right now. I have just fucking jars galore, right? I got everything just all full and stocked for all the good stuff. In my fridge, I try to keep full and stocked with prep stuff all the time. So the ingredients I think that are most important to have is eggs, hydrolyzed collagen protein or a vegan protein, or a whey, just depends if you're vegetarian or vegan. Tuna, salmon, canned fish, really handy. Packaged salad or just having salad somewhere. Nuts and seeds mix, or like a really healthy granola mix. Go see the guys at House of Health, they'll sort you out. Berries and frozen berries. Coconut yogurt and normal yogurt. Also, one more thing I want to put in, essential tool you need is a bin for all of this shit. And making sure that you're getting rid of, another tip, get rid of all the old shit that you don't need. Throw the shit out. Make sure you've got some sort of systems for throwing all the bad shit out, because you'll get like ingredients, a lot of them are going to go off, catch you later, because you're not going to want to fill things up as enough. Spend a little bit of time filling your things up. So back to the ingredients. Berries, frozen berries, coconut yogurt, normal yogurt, almond yogurt, cashew yogurt, whatever yogurt you want to get. Smoked or canned salmon. Rice varieties. I would say, honestly, if you're going to get rice from anywhere, don't worry about the packet shit, because it kind of sucks unless you can find organic stuff. But if you're out and about or something, or wherever you are, majority of the chances are that there's going to be an Asian store somewhere or an Indian store somewhere close to you. They're going to sell rice cheap as, and they're going to have rice on tap. Those guys have so much rice. So every time I go for rice and I know I need to get it, I don't go to Coles and buy the packaged rice. I'll go to the at one of the Asian stores or an Indian store or something like that, and I was like, hey, can I please get like, a 300 grams of rice right there? And boom, there we go. Fresh, awesome cooked rice costs $2. You're like, thanks. Thanks for that. Really handy tip. Sweet potato and potato. Keep those on deck, and I'll tell you why after. Puffed rice, puffed amaranth, or puffed millet. Very handy. Dark chocolate, chia seeds, manuka honey, cacao nibs, and cacao powder, and Ceylon cinnamon, which is really handy because it's just like really handy like for health wise. These things are just like absolute hacks. The cacao powder, like a ceremonial grade cacao powder, organic cacao powder, and pumpkin seeds. Yes, so they would be the recipes that you want to get. And if you're wondering where these are, they're going to be in the notes below, and I'm going to have a article on my website called Quick Recipe Hacks, something like that, and you can go get them, or just buy the recipe ebook. Everything is on there. And that's in the links below, like any podcast, anywhere you go on my website, whatever, you'll find that recipe ebook link. I've put it everywhere. So 3 super simple, easy recipes I'm going to give to you guys that I love to use, that are so healthy, and I help you understand why. If you listen to my last podcast, actually, on supplements, I go into a little bit about this. Now, I like to use like a good combination. So this is number 1. I'll go into why it's really healthy. Looking at things of just carbs, fats, and proteins, and nutrients is the most handiest thing you can do. Every time I eat something, I have the filter. And some people say, it's bad to have a relationship with food, carbs, fats, and protein. I say absolutely not. Just me personally. I love knowing what's in my stuff and using it as best as possible. Because even if I have like a day or a cheat day, or I don't care what I'm eating today, I can still look at things and go, this is going to make me feel great. Because I have the good fats, the good carbs, the good protein, and it's highly nutrients. So you've got those 4 different options there. Now, for an example, I'll go over that in this recipe, then I'll share the other one. So one recipe I love using is a smoothie bowl. And I like using this smoothie bowl, right? What I do is I get a whole bunch of frozen berries, like a shitload of frozen berries. I'll put some hydrolyzed collagen protein in there, maybe like a little bit of milk and some green spinach and some cacao and some Salem cinnamon. And then I just blend it, right? And the berries, like how they blend with the milk, and maybe a little bit of coconut oil in there too. How it all blends together, you get this big, fluffy, like huge bowl of goodies. You can literally even just do berries, protein, and water and blend it up, and you've got a massive base to a smoothie bowl. And it's amazing because you get all the sweet berry, like you get like if you get a good flavored hydrolyzed collagen protein like the vanilla one from Bulk Nutrients, and you blend that up, you get a huge serving of all the good stuff. And then on top of that, you just put a bit of Greek yogurt, you put some cacao nibs, some manuka honey, some chia seeds and some pumpkin seeds, and maybe a couple of fresh berries just on top just to garnish. And if you have those all in your jars and stuff, super handy. Now, why is that really good for you? The berries, really high in nutrients and antioxidants. The hydrolyzed collagen protein tastes amazing, and it's the best type of protein for all the good stuff in your body. And then you're just having those 2 together is like fantastic. But then having the coconut oil, the chia seeds, and the spinach has also got some of the good greens in there. You've got the chia seeds, which are high in omega-3s, like a plant omega-3s, but still good for omega-3s. Even put a little bit of Celtic salt pinched in there, make it a little salty. Then you get the magnesium and the good stuff from the and stuff from the fats and the dark chocolate and the coconut oil have the really good fats. So it's going to transport all of those good nutrients from either the spinach and the berries into your brain, and it's going to be like a high performance brain bowl. Even if you just have the berries, the hydrolyzed collagen protein, a little bit of coconut oil in there, like my God, it's just amazing. And what you can do as a real simple hack for this recipe is you can literally, if you're on the go, buy frozen berries, mash them up, put some hydrolyzed collagen protein on top, and then maybe a scoop of Greek yogurt and a little bit of coconut oil and some chia seeds, and you're done. Like, you don't even need the blender. You can just literally just do that, and you have a healthy, high nutritious, like jam-packed little meal there. And it's just, and even maybe some greens powder if you have some greens powder, or like some spirulina or some alkaline powder, something like that, just so you're getting the greens in there too, as like the nutrient section. But that is just such a little fantastic recipe that I love, and I'll use that a lot of the time. I'll mash just berries and hydrolyzed collagen protein together, mix that around, put a little bit of coconut milk on top, mix that, and what happens is like the coconut milk freezes a little bit on top of the berries, and it just has this really nice little taste to that. So yeah, if you're super desperate, you literally just mash berries and protein together. Or and whatever else you've got. If you've got your kitchen on you, you've got your things, you've got chia seeds, Ceylon cinnamon, cacao powder, especially you've got those things full. you are good to go. So that's just an example of just like using the different nutrients together and why they're really good. Has all the different benefits. The second one is a tuna or salmon salad plus an egg. The ingredients you use is avocado, egg, Celtic salt, vinegar, spinach, cucumber, capsicum, a can of tuna salmon or having some smoked salmon, and then some extra virgin cold pressed olive oil. Now what you do, this is super tasty, is mash avocado, Celtic salt, and vinegar together. Oh my God, it's mind-blowingly good. I don't know why it tastes so good, but it does. And the vinegar from the, I'm assuming this, but I think the vinegar digests the fats a little bit. So the avo goes like really like fluffy and it has like a different type of texture. It's fucking, it tastes so good. And then what you do is you can fry or boil an egg. You think, oh, how can I boil an egg if I haven't got like a pot and pan, all this stuff? You can boil an egg. You just put some water in a bowl and then put your eggs in the bowl and then microwave it. Or if you've got a kettle, put your eggs in the kettle and just boil the kettle 3 or 4 times. You got boiled eggs, like that easy. So that's a little hack for you there. Then what you want to do is you just slice the veggies, put them in a plate and a bowl, stir your olive oil and vinegar and salt together. So you stir them together. Then you put your avocado mash on somewhere on the side of that. And then what you do is you mash the tuna and egg together and put some salt on top of that as well. Then you can either put that on top of the avocado or next to the salad that you've made. And it is fucking epic. Takes 2 seconds. If you have all the ingredients in your stuff with the Celtic salt, vinegar, oil, you should have those somewhere on you in your office, in your workshop, behind you, or whatever. Not behind you. I mean, like in your ute or something like that, or in the office. Oh man, you're just in for an absolute ridiculous recipe, and that sure is going to kick Hungry Jack's fucking ass. That's for sure. So a little note, like what I just said, there's like the deluxe version of this recipe. If you just want to go super simple, you just mash avocado, tuna, and boiled egg together. Put some salt on top and a little bit of vinegar and olive oil. Done. Like you got the fats and all the good nutrients from the avocado. You have the choline and high performance, good, awesome protein from the egg, and then you have the other good protein from the tuna as well. The egg's just got all the really good fats and the choline and stuff in there, so it has like, a little bit different because tuna's very lean meat. So having the egg with the avocado in there, delicious. And then just the salt, vinegar, and olive oil just make it taste ridiculous. Now what you can do as well is if you want to make this super tasty is add sourdough or rice cakes in there to spice them up. The third option that I like to use is having a yogurt bowl. I always look for, this is the key, step 1, what I've written here is look for the best quality yogurt you can get, the highest probiotic quality yogurt. Grass-fed, local, organic yogurt. House of Health, you can find them out. You can find really good coconut prebiotics, whatever. Almond ones, cashew ones, just as long as it's really high probiotic content. Goat ones, I like goat yogurts as well. Then all you want to do is mix together special yogurt, your HCP protein, a whole bunch of walnuts, because walnuts are really good for your brain. They're higher in omega-3s. Some fresh berries, some pumpkin seeds, high in iron, all these different other minerals. The berries, high in antioxidants. And then some chia seeds, high in omega-3s and fibers, really good for you. Then Ceylon cinnamon, good for your insulin response and other stuff. And then also a few pieces of extra dark chocolate, high in really good quality fats, high in antioxidants, higher in all the other stuff. Mix those together. You can have a brain explosion from all the good stuff, right? That's super handy to have. That's the third recipe. The last one is just a couple of little carbohydrate hacks. You know what you can do? I learned this from Kai Green. You can microwave potatoes for 9 to 7 minutes. You can get a big ass sweet potato, chuck it in the microwave for 9 minutes. You've got a baked sweet potato. Just rotate it a couple of times. Y'all got baked sweet potatoes on tap. And then if you have Celtic salt, all you got to do is slice your potato or your sweet potato in half, put some Celtic salt in there, and oh my God. And then you can do things like put avocado in there, boil some eggs in the kettle, and then just put some eggs in your sweet potato, like whatever. Puffed rice and puffed amaranth is really handy in your yogurt mixes, in your berry mixes. And then also make sure you buy your rice from the Asian stores. And then also organic rice noodles. Oh my God, this will blow your brain. Rice noodles are so handy. You know how you make them? You just boil a kettle and put boiling water over the rice noodles and done. There you go, guys. I hope you love this podcast and all these little nutritional hacks. Get everything set up, buy all your stuff, get those tools. You can find this article on the website. You can get the recipe ebook as well. Get these tools, go out, do all of these different things, set yourself up, use a little bit of feminine energy and make it all look amazing. Use all the containers and things and just crush it and live that better life and stop yourself from eating shit by doing this. Big love, huge flex. See you in the next one.